welcome back. In this video I will teach you a perspective shift or a paradigm shift that you need to understand if you actually want to achieve goals. It's not really a step-by-step process, really, but that wouldn't make sense. But I just want you to see life or the world around you through a certain lens. So no more expectations about certain results, but just simply taking control over your life and letting go of what you cannot control, so you can prioritize yourself and finally, get in shape and cultivate a more present, confident mindset with a spiritual hint, without having to give up your ambition in your career or your business. In the contrary, even improve it. For the people that don't know me yet, I'm Guillaume and I'm an ex-military and I've served for about 5 years. And I've been in shape for over the past 9 years, and I've been reading a lot of books and meditating, and I have this unique perspective about the world, how I see it, and how I approach my habits, my nutrition, my workouts. And right now, I'm helping career-driven or entrepreneurs that want to take control over their physique and their mind, so they can balance that out and finally raise their confidence, your own self-talk, and how other people perceive you. So with that being said, and what I have learned so far is what I want to teach you is how to emotionally detach yourself from the goals but still achieve them, but in a more controlled way, in a more trusted but still delusional way. So when you go through this video, be open-minded and watch it till the end, because it might just be the perspective shift that you've needed to hear. Setting goals is good, but writing them down is even better. If you don't write your goals down, it might just be that you're not really aiming to achieve them. When your brain sees that you're writing them down, it is on paper, so it has to be achieved, and your brain will think that way. Still, this doesn't matter if you'll be emotionally attached or not to these goals, but writing them down increases the rate of you achieving them way sooner or even greater. But when you become attached to these goals, that's when it gets destructive. Attachment means feelings and emotions that you apply to these goals. And when you have feelings and emotions, these will dictate your habits. When you act from feelings and emotions, you make emotional decisions and not rational decisions. When you make rational decisions, you think for the long term. When you make emotional decisions, you think in the short term. So to make rational decisions with your goals and detach yourself from the emotions, this is a process and it doesn't immediately change. There are 3 things that you can do to emotionally detach yourself from whatever goal you have. First thing is to write them down, and then the second, project how you'd feel if the goal was already achieved. How would you behave? What kind of decisions would you make? Would you be at peace? And then run with these feelings, and from the moment you have this emotional attachment, right, you feel anxiety and insecurity pop up, or any fear, immediately shift your perspective. And it's delusional, but immediately shift your perspective as if the goal was already achieved, and how would you act? How would you feel? How would you think? The second thing is to meditate. So you meditate clearly on the goal. So you go ahead, sit, and close your eyes in a comfortable position so no one can disturb you. You meditate, you enter meditation, you focus on your breath, and then you let yourself go towards the goal. And then just focus on feeling grateful. When you focus on gratitude, you feel love. And when you feel love whilst visualizing this goal already being achieved, it's a cheat code. So when you go to your day-to-day life after the meditation and you have these tricks, right? There's gonna be traps everywhere, making you feel attached or emotionally attached, making you feel fear, insecurity, whatever. Go back and remember how you felt in the meditation. Immediately feel grateful, and how you can cultivate gratefulness or gratitude is by focusing on small things that you have. It could be the watch that you're wearing, it could be the necklace that you have, it could be the Nespresso machine or the coffee machine that you have. Something small that makes you smile a little bit, and then immediately just know that everything is being taken care of, and that if you focus on this emotional aspect of it, everything will just turn out the other way. So the more you write them down, the more you feel grateful of already being achieved, and be delusional and meditating on them. You'll be so delusional and so grateful, and then it just comes onto your lap. It will show you opportunities or solutions because you shift your paradigm. Your brain thinks in that way. But if you constantly think about fear, anxiety, and why it the lack, you will only focus on problems and no solutions will be in place for you. And the more you do these things, the sooner you will detach. Repetition is key. After this detachment, you can take control. Now, the things that you can control is what you think, in a way, and your habits. Now, when you meditate, you focus on becoming a spectator of your thoughts and no judger of your thoughts. When you judge, you create friction with the thoughts, and the more friction, the more resistance, the bigger the thought becomes and the more it takes up in your mind. Therefore, the more it takes up in your mind, the more you will feel it, and the more you feel it, the more the habit that you'll perform. So when you make friction with a thought, you become attached to it, but rather you becoming a spectator of your thoughts and basically just seeing them for what it is. Because whatever the thoughts you have in your mind is from the media or whatever you've consumed so far. Social media, books, the people that you speak to, and whatever influence you have. Even movies that you watch. So I have clients right now that are going through this meditation and changing their belief system. Sometimes I get these messages from these people that they say like, damn, I never really saw it in that perspective. Like getting in shape or developing habits is more like a spiritual thing rather than just getting in shape. If you want to see some results, then go ahead, check out my Instagram. So you take control by first the thoughts that you have. The stronger the connection with these thoughts, the bigger they take up in your mind. So when you focus on fear and insecurity, these will take up your mind. When you focus on lack, these will take up your mind, and you feel that way, you only act that way. But when you focus on gratitude, you meditate on the goal already being achieved with a positive feeling. This also creates friction, this also creates resistance with that thought, and it takes up in your mind. So you can choose what thoughts you want to tap into, or you can just stay being a victim of your circumstances. And you direct your input, right, by the things that you consume. So be aware of whatever you're doing on a day-to-day basis and who you're talking to. When you cleanse the input that you get from books, media, whatever you consume, you'll have better thoughts pop into your mind. That doesn't mean that there will be lack or insecurity or fear. These are like traps that will constantly pop up. From that moment, you need to take control over your habits. Stop focusing on the goal. You've already written them down, you've meditated on them, and you feel grateful for already being achieved. But then it is your task to focus on the habits. Do not focus on the goal anymore, just focus on the habits that you need to do to achieve that goal. And repeat them over and over again, regardless of how you feel and how you think. That is being delusional. And show up every single day without having this attachment towards the goal. So just focus on the habits that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. Let's say you want to get fit, right? I hope so. Then it's workouts, tracking your nutrition, fasting, and some cardio. But when you're doing these habits, don't focus on perfectionism. Don't think like, oh, the goal isn't achieved yet, I'm so far away from that. No, just focus on showing up and become addicted to these habits. So when you detach emotionally, you choose your own thoughts by becoming a spectator rather than a judger, and focus on showing up to do the habits regardless of the circumstances. You will attract that goal towards you. It's like a butterfly just coming onto your hand, or a cat just coming onto your lap. But when you have negative thoughts, anxiety, fear, and you judge it and you make friction with that, you'll feel emotionally attached. And when that emotion is attached towards the goal, your habits will reflect that. So look at what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. We are habitual people. But everything starts from the mind towards the feeling, towards the habit. It's like one line, and once you understand that, it's as above, so below. So whatever goal you have in becoming a more well-rounded individual, having a body that you're genuinely proud of, and a mindset that complements that, and it's not breaking you down but rather bringing you up, and focusing with the right lens, you're looking with the right paradigm towards life, then whatever you're looking to achieve is within reach and it's closer than you think. But if you don't apply what I told you, you'll stay in a vicious cycle, just blaming the outcomes and becoming a victim of your circumstances. So I hope that you took some notes, or any mental notes, deeply ingrained, so you can actually take control of your life. If you have any questions or any insights, go ahead and just drop them down in the comments down below. I basically make time to actually answer every single comment throughout the weeks. So I hope that you found this video valuable, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.